Yikes. About a month ago, I made a video where I said I was gonna set one goal per month. And for the month of April, I said I was gonna learn how to make sandwich bread. And here we are, it is April 29th, and I still have not made the bread. Let me tell you about how much I've let myself get distracted by learning how to make simple sandwich bread. When I go into the kitchen with full intentions of learning how to do it, I get distracted by dishes in the sink, clutter on the counter, or something else that is becoming more of a priority at that moment than making the bread. You know, it's like the real life version of having a bunch of pop-ups in your face. When you're searching for something online and all of a sudden you see a really great product. Temu is great for this. You click on the product, and before you can even get to see what it is and learn about what the item is, 1,000 different pop-ups are popping up in your face, and you have to get through all of those just to get where you're going. That is how I felt about making sandwich bread. And you might be asking yourself, why did I want to learn how to make sandwich bread in the first place? It could be a whole lot simpler if I just went to the store and bought a loaf of bread for $1 to $3 and called it a day. But I can't ignore how terrible store-bought bread is for you. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've been eating it, but if there's a simple way to make sandwich bread at home that is way better for me and my family, then I need to set aside the time to prioritize learning how to make it. And let's talk about some things that I read that I can't unsee. I read that a lot of store-bought bread, you can run under water and it won't rip anymore. I've read bread doesn't toast or crisp up anymore. That bread tastes like a sponge rather than bread. And I actually had that experience just a couple weeks ago. I've also read that the amount of chemicals in store-bought bread is disgusting. And that the effects of eating store-bought bread versus homemade bread is very evident in people's lives. So maybe all those claims aren't true with all types of bread that are bought in the store. There's obviously better alternatives. But if it's really simple to make bread, why not give it a try? When I decided I was gonna learn to make sandwich bread, I knew the recipe had to fall into 4 criteria. The first thing was that I knew the recipe had to be simple. In order for me to actually continue to use the recipe, I wanted it to be a recipe that I could potentially memorize or very easily reproduce. The second thing, I wanted the recipe to be something that I could make with ingredients I already have on hand or ingredients I already usually have on hand. I don't like to have recipes where there's some weird special ingredient that I'm possibly not gonna have in the future, because that recipe to me is useless. I'm not gonna go digging up some type of ingredient to make something in the future unless it's something I love. So for me, I just wanted the recipe to include simple ingredients. The third thing I needed the bread recipe to fall into is that I needed the recipe to be something that didn't take forever. The biggest turnoff for me is when I read a recipe and it says the prep time is like 2 hours or 4 hours potentially, especially when we're talking about bread. I mean, I'm okay with waiting for bread to rise and there being a recipe where maybe the taste is gonna be enhanced by the bread rising. But if the recipe can only be done with like 4 hours of prep work, I knew I wasn't gonna be interested in it, because a lot of times I don't think that far ahead, or I'm not gonna be home prior to the evening time, so I need something that's gonna be done within an hour's time if need be. The fourth criteria that I needed to be met is that I needed the bread to be able to be baked in a pan that I already had. A lot of times I've read bread recipes that include some type of Dutch oven, some type of special bread baker. I wanted the bread to be able to be made in a sandwich loaf pan, so that I'll actually use the bread for sandwiches, and it be a nice size, and it be in a glass bread loaf pan that I already have, versus having to go out and buy a special pan for a recipe. Can you imagine if you had to buy a special pan for every recipe you had? Now, I understand that someone could say that, yeah, but if you like the recipe, you're gonna use it over and over again. I agree, but that's just not my thought process. I don't want any recipe to have special accommodations that need to be met. In order for a recipe to become a staple in my kitchen, to keep life simple, I needed those 4 things to be met. Now, since I'm so particular, finding this simple bread recipe wasn't quite an easy task, but I'm hoping it'll be worth it. Let's take a look and see if the yeast did what it was supposed to. Oh no! Well, I guess this is why you do not wait until the last minute to make the bread. Yikes. So I've got some good news and some bad news. The good news is I made the bread. The bad news is it didn't turn out exactly as I expected. The bread wasn't really like sandwich bread. It was more of a dense bread, something you would use for like jam or something like that. But I want to find light in the whole situation. I don't want to look at this bread recipe as a failure. I want to look at this as a stepping stone. Something I can build on to learn to make better bread and different types of bread. So that's what this is going to be. The bread might not have turned out exactly the way I wanted it, but I do know how to make bread now. So I've got a good starting point to learn from. As moms, I think it is so important to celebrate the wins. Often the days are long, but it is so true how the saying goes, the years are short. And now it's time to start thinking about May's goal. In May, I want to learn how to make a body sugar scrub that is all natural. It's about to be sandal season, and the dry skin on my feet needs some work. See you in the next video.